Hello, this is Richard Bruce of richleebruce.com. This YouTube channel, Rich Lee Bruce, Reddit, Rich Lee Bruce. If you see Rich Lee Bruce, that's generally me. Today we're going to talk about names. Well, more specifically, I'm going to talk about initials. The initials of the Sith Lords: Darth Vader, DV, Darth Sidious, DS, Darth Maul, DM, and Darth Tyranus, DT. And why do we talk about these initials? Because Lucas seems to be giving credit to the sources for each of these characters by through these initials. Let's start with Darth Vader. The first thing in the movie that Darth Vader does, the first thing he does when he comes on screen in The New Hope, is he comes onto the rebel vessel, grabs one of the captured rebel soldiers, and holding him by the neck, he holds him straight armed right out in front of him, showing his enormous power that he can hold him off the ground while holding him off the ground, straight armed in front of him, and he questions them. This was a standard move of Dr. Victor Von Doom, who is one of the major sources from which the character Darth Vader is taken. Another standard move of Dr. Victor Von Doom was he would lift off his mask, and you wouldn't see him from the front, you'd see him from the back. And he would look at his face in the mirror and shudder, and then he could put his mask back on. And of course, in the second Star Wars movie, The Empire Strikes Back, you see Darth Vader doing exactly this. So both Dr. Doom and Dr. Victor Von Doom and Darth Vader have horribly scarred faces and bodies because, in the case of Dr. Doom, an accident in the effect of the fight for Darth Vader, and both of them are covered in armor and have a dark black mask, and both of them are evil, but both of them are majestic. Dr. Victor Von Doom, you've seen him in the Fantastic Four movies. He is maybe not the most popular of the villains now, but back in the 60s, and perhaps when Lucas was doing this, he was one of the top villains around. Okay, so that's Dr. Victor Von Doom, DVVD. Let's go on to the second one, Darth Sidious. Now, going back to Darth Vader, just to confuse you a bit, Darth Vader is not just based on Dr. Victor Von Doom. He's also based on another character that many of you will know from the comics, Darkseid. And Darkseid's assistant, or his chief torturer, and seems to be like his top assistant, is Sade. And that's often spelled D-E-S something, well, at any rate. But the initials in the original word Sade, as in Marquis de Sade, would be DS, which of course are the initials of the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. So if we look at Sade, we've got initials DS, and you can look up the Fourth World Sade and look up Darth Sidious online using Google Images, and you can see those two images are rather similar to one. They're often wearing monk outfits. They sometimes have a hood. They're quite ugly and wrinkled and so on and so forth, and pasty-faced. And they really look quite similar. And I had always thought that the two were similar, and I thought that Darth Sidious was based on Sade years before I suddenly realized the obvious. Wait a minute, their initials are the same, DS. So this was my realization that it wasn't just Dr. Victor Von Doom and Darth Vader that were tied together, but as I extended it, it looks like all of the Sith Lords have this. The third Sith Lord that we saw, if you're citing the movies in the order they come out in the first of the prequel movies, and you remember Darth Maul, that's DM, and he looks like a devil. So we would think, let's see what the connection is into devils. Well, the devil in Marvel Comics is Mephisto, which is short, famous nickname for Mephistopheles. Okay, so it's DM, Devil, Mephisto, or Mephistopheles, um, and that being the source of Darth Maul, at least the image. And then let's go on to the final of them, Darth Tyrannus, who, of course, is Count Dooku. Now, when we say the word count, for those of us who are into English adventure language, adventure literature, the first thing you're going to think of is Count Dracula. So where do we get the T? Well, the most obvious place would be Count Dracula of Transylvania. We always associate him with Transylvania. Another couple of possibilities in Romania. Romanian, the original Vlad the Impaler, sometimes called Dracula Tiepes or something like that. In the comics, there's his Dracula's son's name is sort of based on that. And then also Tomb of Dracula, the T could stand for tomb, but I don't think so. I think it basically means Dracula of Transylvania, because that's the straightforward, obvious one. So at this point, we have all four of our Sith Lords from the first 6 movies, and all 4 of them seem to match up with the initials of their sources. And it looks like Lucas is crediting his source material through the initials of the Sith Lords. At least that's my theory. So at any rate, hopefully you'll like and subscribe and so on and so forth. This is Richard Lee Bruce of Rich Lee Bruce signing off. Bye.